what we're looking at here today is trying to identify if I have a response in my starter fertilizer from that phosphorus component. So a lot of times in starter fertilizer we look at things like nitrogen, phosphorus, and zinc as our three primary things that need to be in there. So do you really need phosphorus in your starter? Some different things you can do evaluating that out in your fields is by simply running your starter fertilizer like we have on this side, and then we went ahead and shut it off over here. And what we're looking at here was only 3 gallon of a pop-up in furrow fertilizer versus no fertilizer here. So we're not talking a lot of phosphorus, just a small amount of phosphorus placed right in furrow down in that row as we planted the corn. When we're looking at things like phosphorus, one thing that we look at is the color of the corn itself. So as we see a lot of this purple showing up, and we get this purple discoloration on these leaves, that shows us that this is a little bit short as far as in phosphorus. So phosphorus deficiency will have these purple plants. You can see on this other side here, which is this plant I have, you can see that we don't have near the amount of purpling in this. So when we put on just a little bit of that extra phosphorus, we were able to take away the purpling as well as get a bigger growth response in this plant. We can see a pretty big difference as far as in the height out here of these plants, where we have no phosphorus on here compared to where we've put that phosphorus on. So phosphorus becomes very important, especially early in the season when we're planting. We can have a lot of phosphorus in our soil test levels, but it's not available to actually get into these plants. So when we deal with temperature, especially as we get cool temperatures, it really reduces our phosphorus availability. The relative availability when soils are at 50 degrees might only be 20 or 25%. If we get soil temperatures up into the 70 degrees, now maybe we can get up in there in that 80–90% availability to try to get this into the plant of that relative availability. So early in the season, if you have things like no-till, or if you just like to get out there and get those early planting dates, those are going to be the places we need to make sure we're targeting some phosphorus fertilizer in with our starter program.